Okay guys, let's get right into the stock market technical analysis. I actually recorded a video yesterday and I forgot to publish it. So I had it scheduled to go out at 9 o'clock this morning because there wasn't a whole lot of change from yesterday. But today, since we're having some selling, I wanted to just get a new video out. So what we're going to do is go through the broad markets, look at some individual trade ideas, and then we'll wrap up. We've got Apple earnings. I believe that's tomorrow. So you know, the kind of selling that we're seeing today, or Apple's on Thursday, and the kind of selling that we're seeing today is you still need to take it with a grain of salt because we still have Apple earnings. It's probable that Apple's going to beat earnings, so we might see a spike after that. And so again, we can't read too much into the selling today, but I do want to point out some key levels. All right, so drop me a thumbs up as we go. Triple Qs. So triple Qs, let's go down to the hourly because really this week has been mostly about the hourly. You can see here's support. We were trading here for, basically almost a week. And that's support in there. And then resistance was up here. And we were just kind of chopping around. But today's, you can see we're breaking down today. So that breakdown that is a short-term sell signal on the hourly chart. And what it does is it really sets us up to roll out to the larger time frames, which is the daily. So let's go over here on the daily chart. And on the daily chart, we have the major uptrend line that tech has been in an uptrend all year long. And this is the uptrend line here. All right, it's marked in blue. So from my perspective, it looks like we're going to sell down to that uptrend line. All right, does it happen today? With Apple coming out on Thursday, I think today and tomorrow could be sell days. We could get down here. We're kind of nearing some support on the daily, some just short-term support. That's a former reaction high, but I don't think it's going to hold. I do think we'll probably just continue to sell down to that uptrend line. Now, if we're down there, and this is kind of key, if we're down at this uptrend line before Apple earnings, or even shortly after Apple, let's say Apple reports and they don't like it and we gap down or we sell down to this trend line, that's major support. So ultimately, if you're going to short, if you're shorting this market like I am, then it doesn't make sense to, that's support. You'd want to cover. And then ultimately, if you get a breakdown of that trend line, then that's the major sell signal we'd be looking for the next swing trade. Sell signal. Okay, so that's really it on triple Qs. And Apple, you can see again, Apple, you have this big bearish rising wedge with big negative divergence. So the charts tell me that we are basically gonna sell down soon. Whether it happens right after earnings, I'm not. That's a little bit of a gamble. So it's hard to tell how the market's gonna react right after earnings. But shortly after, if not right after, we should sell down. That's what this chart's telling me. You've got a break. You've got to, we're kind of just floating here. So I think, if Apple continues to sell, sure, they might pop it in earnings. You could put in another divergent high right after earnings, but I think it'll get sold into. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at with Apple. And then Meta is another one that's interesting. Meta, I think, is topped out. So Meta earnings are already out of the way for Meta. And on Meta, you've got a big bearish rising wedge. You've got big, clean negative divergence that's just extended for, quite a while. And we have a breakdown and a sell signal and a back test. And it back tested for a few days, but ultimately it really went nowhere. And then we're seeing some selling today. So that's really what I've got. Now, yes, if Apple's, bullish, maybe we get another back test. But ultimately, to me, this looks like kind of a cluster of a back test, and we're going to start to roll over. So, again, I like it as a short trade. I think it's a pretty clean short trade. Support's right down here, so you're 290.75, maybe get a little bounce there. But you take that out, and down it should go. So that one looks pretty good. And then NVIDIA pointed this out to the private member group this morning. NVIDIA, this is the AI pump right here. When they reported earnings and they pumped it. And again, it continued to rally through here. And this is where all the media and the public and everybody's just bullish on Nvidia because price is going up. That's basically it. They don't really care why. And the AI thing was the headline. But after the gap up, each new high was a divergent high. There's a high. There's a high. Negative divergence, telling me that this is kind of the end of a move. It's a bull trap essentially, and you can see we are now getting a sell signal, breaking that sell signal. So ultimately, I think we head down to this gap fill. You'll probably get some dip buyers there, but I'm looking at this to fill the gap down here at about 318. And that's a good move. From where we're at right now, that would be a drop of about 25 to 30%, depending on, where it actually hits. So that's a sell signal in Nvidia right now and today. Okay, here's some other interesting stocks. GE. Again, you've got this bearish rising wedge pattern, all right? You've got clean, strong negative divergence. No breakdown or sell signal yet. It's just kind of trading right there at support. So I can't say that's a definitive sell signal, but it's on watch, all right? So we see, some more impulsive selling from here, and that should ultimately be the sell signal that I'd be looking for. And then you want to take the widest part of the wedge, which really is about here. It's not a super wide wedge, but would maybe set us up for a move down to about $90 in the 200-day moving average, somewhere right in there. So that's something to be on watch. This one, CVS, this is a long, looks like a good long. So yes, I pointed this one out. Actually, this might have been in the video I had yesterday. This is support, all right? And again, this was our former resistance, 72, and then resistance is about 76.94, pretty close to where we're at right now. Earnings just came out this morning. It gapped down right to support, and there's the buyer. So still looks good. It's bullish trend, and that's been signaled by the bullish divergence. There it is. So as you were falling, we were building bullish divergence. We broke out, and I know my chart's getting messy because I've talked about this one multiple times. But we broke out right there. That's your buy signal. Broke out and a back test, both objective areas to go long. So it can go long there, it can go long there, and it's trending higher. So pullbacks, it's by the dip. All right, there's a dip, they're buying it. I think we're probably, we're kind of near resistance, but again, I think we're going higher, going to hit the 200, maybe a little pullback there, and possible target would be up around, I might have to redraw this, but it looks like decent resistance up around 88.50. So yes, that looks bullish. Okay, commodities, wheat especially, is because that's the one I've been mostly focused on. They are it's selling down a little today, but again, not much change from yesterday. I think we're at or near support and what looks to be the start of an uptrend. So here is the lows. We've had one reaction, and so far we're getting a third reaction. So I'm going to say that's our trend line for now until that's violated. Now, if we just continue to sell off and just break down through this, then yeah, we can't say that's a trend line. But for now, because it looks like the buyers are kind of stepping in, then we'll see if that holds. And that would be our uptrend. So again, higher lows, and don't really have higher highs. We kind of have equal highs. So what that would tell me is the next move would be an up move to take out these former highs. All right, and probably be a rally up to about $8. So that's what I'd be looking for. I don't see any indication that that is not going to be the case, but yeah, that's really kind of what I've got on wheat. So watch that support line. And one thing I want to point out, and another reason why I think right now we might get a small little rally in triple Qs. We'll see. But the TNX, this is your 10-year Treasury. So again, this one, you're trading right up into resistance. So you've got reaction high, and here you can see right there, we're right there. That's resistance right now. So we could kind of pull back to the trend line and then ultimately bounce, or we might just break on through. All right, maybe that's I don't know if it's going to happen. There's some reports like the jobs report and stuff and Apple earnings. We'll see if that has a play. I don't know if it'll happen before then. Not probable that it happens before then, but if it does, that's definitely something to keep an eye on. All right, if we take out those former highs on interest rates, that's likely setting the interest rates up for a test of kind of this cycle's highest level, which is right up here around 432. And you go back 432 was trading around October 2022. That's where we were hitting those in the interest rates. You go back and look at the SPY and see where it was trading at during October 2022, and it's all the way down here at the lows. So there's a big divergence between interest rates, which is the bond market, and the stock market. And I think, as far as I can tell, it looks to me like the stock market is starting to get the memo from the bond market, and it's gonna correct and start to have that move down. So we will see. Couple short setups. TSM. Now this one doesn't it's got a big negative divergence. It doesn't have it recently right in here, but if you roll all the way back, there's your negative divergence on the RSI and the PPO. So there's your uptrend line on TSM. This is a semiconductor, so again, kind of a AI mania thing, and you can see we're right there at support. So no sell signal. Just sitting right at support. You need to see that trend line break before we have a sell signal. If anything, this is where you go long, right? Because you're sitting at support. So keep an eye on that. Now, I'm not looking to go long. You might get a little bounce, but I'm not looking to go long because these divergences that have been building for a while signal to me that we're going to, sooner rather than later, get a breakdown. So that is what I'd be looking for. And then AVG, especially with NVIDIA, breaking down, which is the king of semiconductors, then very likely we're going to see more breakdowns. Here's AVGO, Broadcom, another semiconductor, bearish rising wedge, negative divergence, all right, and sitting kind of right there at support. No breakdown or sell signal quite yet, but again, very likely coming soon, so keep an eye on that. General Electric, I already covered that one. MasterCard. So again, we've been talking about this one for a while, but it looks like the selling has started. And you can see here on MasterCard, if I roll out, there's your uptrend line. Support all through here. We broke, and it just continued to backtest for a while. Now, ultimately, looks like we're rejecting, starting to head lower. So keep an eye on that. If you want to be, and again, big negative divergence. It's been building for a while, signaling that the move is probably going to be a big move to the downside. Another one you'd want to watch, though, to help confirm would be Visa. This one looks to be a little stronger. So this one, you've got support. It has not broke support yet. Unlike MasterCard, which did break support, this one has not. So if you get a breakdown of this trend line here, then that would help confirm the MasterCard trade. This one has big negative divergence as well, so I think that breakdown's coming. But again, until you see that, you don't have a sell signal on Visa. Tesla. So Tesla, this is the daily chart on Tesla. Looks like it's kind of bear flagging just in the short term. You can see kind of a move down, flag out, and I think we're going to continue that move down. It's setting us up for probably this trend line down here, which would be a move down to about, depending on when we get there, but probably down to about this 232-ish area. That's your bull market trend line in Tesla. There's all the tags of support. So I think a move down there. Once you get down there, you have to take out that trend line to confirm a longer term sell signal, which, when we get down there, we'll see. But so far, it does look like that's where we're heading on Tesla. You can see today, breaking down from this former support level. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Just kind of pointed out a couple trade ideas, some key levels to watch, and we'll just see how this plays out. All right, drop me a thumbs up on your way out. Check out the Stock Market Technical Analysis course if you're interested. Link in the description below. Catch you on the next video.